Alright, I'm Daniel Emmanuel 24, and today is a video called How to Speak Mexican to a Mexican. Daniel Emmanuel 24's Guide to Cultural Harmony. In this video you will learn the art of communicating with a member of a different culture, a different country, and you will enjoy it. First of all, what is a Mexican? It's a good question. Some people are a little ignorant on the subject. A person from Mexico, pretty much. That's it. That's all it is. So, how do you learn how to speak to a Mexican? Well, you've got to learn how to speak Mexican first. Now, Mexican is also called Spanish, Hispanic, Mexican Spanish, and Portuguese. Now, one of the ways you can learn Mexican, Spanish, Hispanic, Mexican Spanish, or Portuguese, from the remainder of the video we will be calling it Spanish, is through language learning apps. Some of the more famous ones include Duolingo, Babbel, and of course, Ling Ling Learn Spanish. Yes, this is a real app. Google it. Now you may think this is a really good way, very easy, very cheap. Well, I'm here to tell you, no, don't do that. These are very bad apps. All they want to do is want to get you on a subscription plan, or they want to stuff ads in your learning experience. Like, type in 2 Spanish words, you get 10 ads, and all they're trying to do is get some money out of you. They're not actually trying to help you learn Spanish. Instead, you should be looking at things like academic resources. You go and look at papers from universities, such as, the very respectable University of Croydon, or Wolverhampton, or Bolton, one of them. Some papers on the subject, maybe attend a few lectures online. And then you've got other resources. This is a particularly effective method I like to use. You change your device's language in your settings. You go in your settings, right? You go to language. Switch it from English to Mexicana or Mexicano, depending on your gender, right? And then you go in that, and then suddenly everything's in Mexican. And so, you're scrolling through on TikTok or whatever. You're learning how to speak Mexican. Proper good, isn't it? Next, you gotta learn Mexican culture. You can't just learn the language. That's too easy. It's too simple. Gotta learn Mexican culture as well. So, one of the ways you can do that, you can watch culturally significant films about Mexico. One of them, well, a selection of them, I've provided for you here. So you've got Despicable Me 2. Proper classic, that. Main villain, El Macho. It's very, very good Mexican character. Very powerful stereotype of the Mexican man. Good film as well. I'm a bit of a fan of him, you might be able to tell. Then you've got Y Tu Mama Tambien, which is a nice little piece about some sort of Mexican things. Then you've got The Book of Life, which has Channing Tatum in it, who I don't think is Mexican, but I can never be sure. He's got a look in his eye. He might break out into mariachi every now and again. Who can tell? And then you've got Roots, obviously. Proper good films, that. All very Mexican and very, very culturally significant. Next, you can consider learning a Mexican instrument. There's nothing that says culture like music. So some of the Mexican instruments you can use. You got the maracas. Everyone knows the maracas. You shake them. That's about it. Pretty easy. You've got your guitar, but specifically the ones they use in the mariachi bands with the fancy, whatever that is, colouring. Like you get like your little small sister to draw on it. There you go. Get a regular guitar. Put some decal on it. Then you've got your trumpet, like in Mambo Number 5. When he's yep. And then you've got, of course, the Marimba Chiapaneca de Madera Fina. Enough said. Finally, you can consume Mexican foods. Now, food does make a culture, and the Mexican culture is very embracing of food. You know, there's a lot of festivals and carnivals and sort of things, and food is often at the centerpiece. So it's important to know your foods. And how now you're thinking, how can you condense all of Mexican food culture into 4 pictures? Well, quite simply, Mexican food will often include carbohydrates, dairy, protein, and water. Those 4 things are staples in Mexican cuisine. You know, you're very rarely going to see a dish without any combination of the 4. So, in my opinion, quite important. So there you go. That's how you learn the culture. Now the final step, you've got to approach a Mexican. Because you've learnt Mexican, you've learnt the Mexican culture, but now you have to find a Mexican to speak Mexican to. So, you got to locate a suitable candidate. You know, maybe go down the street and, you know, someone who might look like this. They don't have to look like this. Sometimes they're a bit different. But this might be a nice starting point for you. And then see where it goes from there. So once you've found your candidate, you want to attract their attention. You want to make sure to do this in the most polite and dignified and, you know, well-mannered way possible. And then once you've done that, it's very simple, very easy. All you do, here's you, and then you go up to them and you just say this. Very easy, very simple. Immediately, you speak in Mexican to them. All you do is this. Hablo inglés. And then once you've said that, job's a good one. You've spoken Mexican to a Mexican. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, make sure to subscribe, leave some comments about how you did this, and then you had like 7 different Mexican friends turn up. Leave a like if you liked it, leave a dislike if you didn't like it. There's not really much else. So I'll be leaving you. Hope this helps. See you later. Ta-ra.